All right, Celtics Nation, let's break down everything from the latest matchup and what it means for our team as we push through the season. The game started with high expectations, but the second quarter really exposed some of the issues the Celtics are facing right now. Shots just weren't falling, and the team went 1 of 11 from 3 in what might be one of the worst shooting quarters we've seen in recent NBA play. 19 points on the quarter, losing it by 9, and heading into halftime down by 10 really set a tough tone. The second quarter looked like a disaster, and you could see the frustration building. But basketball is a game of runs, and the Celtics didn't stay down for long. The third quarter was a completely different story. Jaylen Brown started hitting everything. Derek White caught fire, and even hitting 3 of 3 from beyond the arc in that frame. The Celtics came alive and won the third quarter by 16 points, showing the kind of resilience this team can have when they find their rhythm. It was one of those quarters where everything seemed to fall into place. Heading into the fourth quarter, the focus shifted. Anthony Simons started to make his mark, scoring 10 points on efficient shooting, including 2 for 2 from 3. He looked like the guy who might carry the team in crunch time, but then he checked out, and the Celtics offense began to stall again. This is where the questions start to come in about substitution patterns. Simons has shown glimpses of being able to take over games, yet the rotation pulled him at a key moment. Jaylen Brown and Derek White came back in, and while on paper it made sense to play the starters, the offensive flow suffered, and the shots weren't falling. Brown went 1 of 3, Derek 1 of 6 with 1 of 3 from deep, and suddenly the advantage they had built evaporated. On the other side, Justin Edwards kept the pressure, hitting 3 of 4 from 3 in the fourth quarter, with the one miss followed by an offensive rebound from Kelly Oubre that sealed the game. The Celtics actually did well on the boards overall, but that key play exposed some of the defensive lapses that continue to be a concern. Jaylen Brown admitted after the game that he got caught ball watching. Defensively, he had a decision to make when Maxey turned his back, and he went for a steal. The strategy of going for high-risk plays is fine, but comes with consequences, and this time, the result was a wide-open three-pointer followed by a critical offensive rebound. Mistakes happen, and Brown recognized it himself. The challenge is learning to make those plays and then immediately recover, ensuring someone else covers the lapse. The Celtics have the talent and awareness to make these plays, but the execution has to be cleaner. This season, it's becoming clear that the team is going to live with these aggressive defensive decisions, but they also need to trust the rotations and ensure the coverage is there to back up those plays. Offensively, the Celtics created good opportunities, but too many shots didn't connect. The second quarter, in particular, saw missed chances that allowed the Sixers to build a bit of separation and go on a run. It's not just about shot making. It's about maintaining confidence and composure. The missed opportunities can snowball and affect defensive intensity, and the team needs to break that pattern. Even in transition, there are moments where the Celtics slow down too much, over-dribble, or take extra steps that allow defenders to recover. For example, Jordan Walsh had opportunities in transition but hesitated, which gave defenders time to contest or block shots. Simple execution errors like that are the difference between converting a fast break and losing the possession entirely. Reading the floor, making the right pass, and finishing plays on time are critical. The Celtics are generating advantages more than last year, but the conversion rate is lower, and that's hurting overall efficiency. In the NBA, the smallest fraction of a second, a half step, or a fingertip can decide the outcome of a play. Teams that consistently make the quickest, most accurate decisions are the teams that win games. Right now, the Celtics are on the wrong side of those small margins too often. Timing, awareness, and recognition need to be sharper. The combination of talent and execution is there, but if the players hesitate or misread a situation by even a split second, it can undo all the good work that led up to that possession. After 12 games, the Celtics sit at 5-7, and while that's not disastrous, it puts them in the middle of the pack, fighting for a .500 record. There's room for growth, but it has to come quickly. The team needs to build consistency, especially in late-game execution. In the final minutes, plays need to be clean, decisions decisive, and every player aware of their role. Missed shots, Poor recognition of open teammates and defensive lapses in the clutch are the areas that will define whether this season tilts toward mediocrity or improvement. The upcoming games, including a tough matchup against Memphis and a couple against Brooklyn, are opportunities for the team to regain rhythm and confidence. Small winning streaks, if built on disciplined execution, can shift momentum and help the Celtics climb closer to a positive record. Individual performances also deserve attention. While some stars like Jaylen Brown had off-shooting nights, others like Jordan Walsh are making significant strides, showing the kind of development that could become key as the season progresses. The Celtics' rotation is evolving, and players are learning where their strengths can make the biggest impact. The difference between winning and losing often comes down to a few decisive actions on both ends of the floor. Recognizing those moments, acting decisively, and executing with precision is the focus moving forward. The team is creating chances, but finishing those opportunities, both offensively and defensively, will determine how competitive they remain in the coming weeks. The Celtics season is shaping up to be a test of adaptability, execution, and resilience. The team has flashes of brilliance, particularly when multiple players catch fire simultaneously, but maintaining that level of play through entire games remains a challenge. The integration of newer players into the rotation, the balancing of minutes for those who can carry scoring loads like Anthony Simons, and the recovery from mistakes like ball watching are all pieces of a puzzle that need to come together. Execution under pressure, finishing plays, and making quick, smart decisions will be the difference between hovering around .500 and breaking through to a higher tier in the Eastern Conference. If the Celtics can tighten up their late-game execution, maintain offensive flow, and capitalize on transition opportunities, they have the potential to turn close losses into wins. It's a matter of consistency and decision-making, particularly in high-pressure moments. The team has shown the ability to dominate stretches of games and overwhelm opponents when they get hot, but those moments need to be extended and replicated more consistently. The next few games will be critical in determining whether these lessons are absorbed and implemented effectively. Celtics fans have reasons to be cautiously optimistic, but the path forward demands focus, discipline, and relentless attention to detail on both ends of the court. The coaching staff will need to continue refining rotations, balancing minutes for hot-handed players, and ensuring defensive assignments are executed properly. The players themselves must recognize open teammates, move quickly, and act decisively in crunch-time scenarios. Even small missteps, like being a half-step late or misreading an opponent's position, can be costly at this level. The margin for error in the NBA is razor-thin, and the Celtics are learning that every possession counts. Each play, whether a fast break layup or a contested three-pointer, can swing momentum, and developing the ability to consistently make the right choice in real time will be crucial for the remainder of the season. As the season continues, Celtics fans are left closely analyzing each game, trying to understand what the team needs to do to rise above the .500 mark. One of the recurring themes has been execution in critical moments, especially down the stretch. The team has talent, no doubt about it, but talent alone doesn't win games consistently. It's about how players make split-second decisions under pressure, how they read the floor, and how they respond to opponents' adjustments. We've seen instances where Jaylen Brown, despite being one of the most capable scorers on the roster, has to make difficult decisions when defenders collapse on him. At times, he goes for aggressive steals or tries to create a play that doesn't pan out, and that's where the team needs to have a system in place to recover immediately. Defensive awareness and support are just as important as individual effort. If a player takes a calculated risk, someone else has to be ready to cover, to rotate, to anticipate where the ball might go next. That's something the Celtics are still ironing out. Offensively, the team has moments where everything clicks, especially in the third quarters we've seen this season. When Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and other scorers hit their rhythm, the Celtics can dominate a frame, turning a deficit into a lead. But sustaining that energy, that timing, and that chemistry across entire games is proving to be a challenge. Players like Anthony Simons, when on fire, can completely alter the flow of a game, but rotations and bench management sometimes take him out at key moments and the momentum stalls. Coaches have to find the balance between using hot hands and maintaining structure with the starting lineup. Finding the right mix is crucial for the Celtics to maximize their scoring potential while also keeping defensive assignments intact. Transition offense is another area of concern. The Celtics are generating more opportunities than they did last season, but they are not finishing them at a high enough rate. Jordan Walsh's hesitation in fast break situations or Garza's slightly off-target passes illustrate that there's still a need for sharper decision-making under pressure. It's not just about getting the ball down the floor. It's about reading the defense, recognizing where teammates are, and delivering the ball in a way that ensures a high-percentage shot. Half a second too late or a small misread can turn what should be an easy score into a contested shot or a turnover. The team has the pieces to make those plays, but they have to develop the timing, the chemistry, and the confidence to execute reliably. Defensively, the Celtics have been inconsistent in critical moments. Ball-watching errors, missed rotations, and lack of communication have led to easy buckets for opponents, particularly in late-game situations. Jaylen Brown's acknowledgement of getting caught ball watching is a good start because awareness is the first step toward correction. But the team as a whole needs to adopt a mindset where each player is accountable not just for their man, but for the entire defensive structure. Anticipation, recovery, and support are critical in high-pressure moments, especially against teams that thrive in transition or have hot shooters like the Sixers. If one player overcommits, others need to cover instantly, or the defense collapses. The margin for error in the NBA is extremely small, and the Celtics must internalize that quickly if they want to convert close games into wins. Looking at the broader picture, the Celtics' record of 5-7 after 12 games places them in a middling position, but it's far from catastrophic. There is still plenty of time to adjust rotations, sharpen execution, and improve both offensive and defensive consistency. The next stretch of games is critical. Facing teams like Memphis and Brooklyn will test their ability to perform under fatigue and pressure, especially since Memphis is a tough, physical squad and Brooklyn, while not dominating, won't roll over easily. These are opportunities to build streaks, regain confidence, and start stringing together wins that could shift the team's trajectory for the season. Every possession counts, and small adjustments in decision-making and execution can lead to significant changes in outcomes. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are growing louder around the NBA that the Boston Celtics might be preparing a sensational move, a mega offer, as insiders are calling it, to land Phoenix Suns superstar Devin Booker. While nothing has been confirmed, the buzz around league circles suggests that Boston's front office could be ready to test the Suns' resolve with an offer too tempting to refuse. Booker, one of the league's elite scorers and a face of the Suns franchise, has long been seen as untouchable. But according to several sources close to the situation, the Celtics have quietly explored scenarios that would bring the all-star guard to Boston, pairing him with Jason Tatum in what could instantly become the most explosive offensive duo in the league. Speculation is swirling that Boston's interest stemmed from a desire to secure long-term championship dominance. With Tatum entering his prime and Jaylen Brown's name often floating in trade rumors, executives around the league believe the Celtics may finally be ready to take a bold swing. The front office, reportedly emboldened by their recent postseason runs, sees Booker as the missing piece, a proven clutch scorer with the mentality to thrive under the bright lights of TD Garden. The potential deal could involve multiple first-round picks and at least one of Boston's young core players. While the details remain under wraps, league insiders describe the Celtics' offer as aggressive and creative, signaling that President of Basketball Operations Brad Stevens is willing to push the limits. For now, the Suns are staying silent, and Booker himself has given no indication that he's seeking a change of scenery. Still, with the NBA landscape constantly shifting and superstars increasingly on the move, few are ruling out the possibility of a blockbuster. Whether it's smoke or fire, one thing is certain. The rumor has sent shockwaves through front offices and fan bases alike. If the Celtics truly make their move, it could reshape the balance of power in the NBA and ignite one of the most dramatic storylines of the season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.